Shaka Shan La.
Do not watch this alone. The TikToks I have for you guys tonight are going to change the way you see reality. And you may be thinking, Sean, they cannot be that bad. You are not going to see life the same ever again. I was on TikTok all night finding the most disturbing conspiracy theories and darkest secrets, and I promise you, I am not the same after watching this. So I don't think you're going to be able to make it to the end of this video, but if you think you can, let me know in the comments, and do not lie, because I know when y'all be lying. The only thing scarier than these videos is the fact that 50% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel, so make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe for more scary videos. Thank you.
Hey, so we just found the worst person in the world. Lil Mar, I didn't even know who this dude was, but he said, "Can North be my Celeste?" Like in reference to David and Celeste Rivas. Like, bro, Northwest is bro. This was a real comment. This actually happened. Turns out, I look into this guy. He had some charges on multiple in the past as well. Why is this dude a free man? Why is he a free man? Whatever police department, wherever he lives, police department, tag them. Tag them. Get him off the streets, bro. Fuck this guy.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. This is one of the sickest humans on the planet Earth. I've heard about this dude a long time ago. There is an endless sheet of horrid things this guy has done, and he's still free. He's literally admitted to it too. Like, he literally made a whole post about it.
It's really sad what fools be doing for views, my boy. A clear humiliation ritual at the Rolling Loud Festival. Now this involved a rapper named Adam Blank, and chat, yes, he wore this dress right here, and it was all apparently for views and for marketing. But chat, I think it's something else going on. We have all of the details to tell you in this video. Fool, I don't care how fools painted. This is straight up, and I don't care what fools have to say. Now listen, chat, I know that he's probably not, but I will tell you guys this, that this is clearly a humiliation ritual. We seen Bad Bunny, we seen Kevin Hart do it, and chat, offer 6,000 likes is absolutely insane. Chat, you will never see me put on a dress, but a lot of times these fools do this because they know that the fame is near and that they have to be humiliated. Otherwise, they won't be accepted in. Now, chat, look what the people are saying. Genuinely, what are you doing, bro? His own fans are telling him this. This other fool saying the biggest marketer out there, bro. He's selling his blank. Stop saying his marketing and just be for real. It's just really sad what a lot of these fools be doing for fame. These fools are really thirsty for clout. Chat, you will never catch a real one doing this. And the crazy thing is, bro, is from the slums of Chicago. Chat, I don't know what's going on with the industry, but I don't want any parts of it. What do you guys think about this one? Let me know and drop a comment.
Einstein had his brain thin section because they wanted to see what made his brain different from everybody else. And it looked pretty much like everybody else's with one exception. He had a whole lot of folds in his brain. So when you stretch those folds out, he had more surface area. He had more neurons. 2022, scientists took neurons and they put them into a petri dish. And they hooked up the neurons to a computer chip. The chip was put into a computer that was loaded with Pong. The neurons began playing the game of Pong, even though there was no human attached to the neurons. And the longer they played, the better they got. They were actually learning. And now the scientists are struggling with the question, how does a neuron not attached to a human know how to play Pong? Where are the instructions?
Little Sky's sister has came out and she has made several accusations that Little Sky's and Cameron both when she was younger. Now, she says that even though Little Sky's and Cameron are brothers, Cameron is not her brother. They have different parents. This is the person she shares that's her dad and Little Sky's dad too. So she says here, 10 years ago, our dad was just overly proud. He never chose his kids. And I think she meant chose her. He never chose me over you. It was always you. She's got lots of pictures on her profile. If you could have one wish, and she's got a picture of the family. Here you can see. But she did not just now come out. She's been saying this for a while. She says that her family told her brother to stop talking to her because if he was accused of SA, they wouldn't talk to her either. Now, some people ask her here, why do you still want to be in contact with your brother if he's done all that stuff to you? And she explains here again, Stockholm Syndrome. Now, she says she just wants them to admit what they did to her, nothing more. She doesn't want them to make her feel crazy. She just wants them to simply admit what they did. So, I don't know. Those are the accusations that are out there. What do you guys think?
This is genuinely crazy because I actually used to listen to bro's music when I was in like high school. So hearing this is kind of like changes everything I ever thought about this dude. Well, for obvious reasons. But, you know, it's sad to see that there's a lot of people that seem very cool, but behind the scenes, they do really sick things. So I hope justice does get served.
Have you ever wondered why Michael Jackson always wore sunglasses? Well, here's exactly why. So if you've seen pictures and videos of Michael Jackson, you notice that a good majority of the time he is wearing sunglasses. Even in the new Michael Jackson movie, when Jafar Jackson was playing as Michael Jackson, he was wearing sunglasses a majority of the time throughout the movie because that's what Michael Jackson did in real life. And well, according to Michael Jackson himself, he always wore sunglasses because he felt like anytime you show your eyes to someone, you're letting them look into your soul, and he just really didn't want anyone to look into his soul. Michael Jackson was someone whose eyes revealed so much about what was going on in the inside, so he just really didn't want people to see that at all, so therefore he wore sunglasses. On top of that, Michael Jackson was extremely shy, so him wearing sunglasses I'm sure probably helped him in some way feel comfortable when performing and talking to people or doing interviews or going up on stage and all that type of stuff. So if you ever wondered why Michael Jackson always wears sunglasses, that is exactly why, and I'm curious to know your thoughts about all of this.
People are freaking out after scientists have just discovered a city underneath the pyramids. I'm sorry, what? Italian researchers have used advanced radar technology to literally scan beneath the pyramids of Giza. No digging, no guessing, literally seeing the actual imagery through the world. And well, what they found was nothing short of a massive underground structure. Nice. We're talking huge chambers, multiple vertical shafts, extending thousands of feet below the pyramids. Now, you may remember the research that came out nearly 2 years ago now. First of all, there was a strange gravitational anomaly that was found or something, like electrical thing. Then obviously last year there was the groundbreaking news of these like cylinder things going under the pyramid that they thought was God knows what. Now that's still out there, but that's pretty much confirmed to probably not be true. But what this new research has found is that there is definitely something underneath the pyramids. Whether it's just an old chamber that's buried very deep below, or it is signs of an ancient civilization, potentially even before the Egyptians. Or maybe the Egyptians wanted to cover up this ancient civilization, so built the pyramids on top of it. I don't know. But this is why people are literally losing their minds over this whole thing. So this wasn't discovered physically. It was detected by them using something called synthetic aperture radar Doppler tomography. I just butchered that, I don't even know what that is. Basically, they scan the ground from multiple angles, track tiny frequency shift, and then rebuild a 3D image of what was underneath. Pretty much like a CT scan, but instead of on a person, it's being done on the Earth. And according to the lead engineer who was working on this project, and I quote, hard to doubt what we're seeing. But here's the problem with it all. There's no official excavation, no confirmation on anything yet, just the pure data that has been found. So now everybody's asking, what is actually going on here? Is it actually an ancient hidden complex or civilization under the ground? Because if this is real, then everything we thought we knew about the Egyptians and the pyramids very well could be wrong. I will keep you updated.
Do you scare your children? All right, well, here's the thing. As much as I do not like to be scared, how many moms here have ever scared your child and they are so easily scared and then you get the fever for it?
Someone here is saying, yes, she has scared her child.
Right? And I mean, just a couple weeks ago, and I had to stop myself because I realized there's something disturbing or like potentially abusive and long lasting.
Isn't it funny how they've mentioned this on that show? Now, we all know about scaring little and the reason why they do that and what they extract from it. But what you got to bear in mind is when they do these shows, they have prompts, they have questions and scripts, and it's all premeditated what they're going to talk about. It's not just off the cuff. So ask yourself, why did they have to put that in there? And if you don't know the answer to that, hopefully the comment section can speed that up for you.
Dude, I don't know if you've heard about this story yet or not, but this is actually insane. Scientists have officially tested 85 different sharks from the Bahamas, and a third of them just came back and they tested positive for
sharks in the Bahamas have tested positive for caffeine and even cocaine.
So this team of researchers just pulled blood from 85 different sharks off a remote island in the Bahamas, and they tested them for nearly 24 different substances. And again, a third of them just came back positive. They're saying that this not only includes caffeine, but also pain anti-inflammatory medicine. And one of the baby lemon sharks actually tested positive for an illegal substance that's linked to drugs in the Caribbean. So how did it get it? Scientists are saying that most of it is coming from tourists, people swimming in the water, dumping sewage, and flushing medicines that end up in the ocean. And this is the part that actually matters, because the sharks that tested positive showed signs of metabolic stress because their blood chemistry is off. Researchers right now still do not know the full long-term effects yet, but studies in other fish show stimulants can change how they feed, move, and respond to danger. This was supposed to be one of the most untouched places on Earth, and obviously it's not.
So you're telling me if I go swimming in the Bahamas and I get attacked by a shark, it's because he's geeked off the yerks? Yeah, I'm not going swimming there, bro.
Breaking news, David will be charged on Monday, and Celeste's family is planning on speaking out for the first time since this case has started. I mean, this is crazy. TMZ is now reporting that sources connected to the case have said that the LA County District Attorney will file criminal charges against David on Monday following his arrest for the alleged murder of Celeste. As you may remember, Monday is the deadline to either charge David with the crime or release him from custody, and apparently they're planning on charging him. This is also after we found out that the LAPD arrested David out of pure frustration that the DA hasn't filed any charges after all this time with all this evidence, so they arrested him anyway to force the DA's hand. In other news, Celeste's family is planning on releasing a statement for the first time through their attorney on Monday in reaction to David being arrested 7 months after their daughter was found in his car. Her family also plans to attend David's arraignment next week if prosecutors indeed file criminal charges. Some people think that her family should have spoken out from the beginning to speak up for their daughter, but others think that they are just grieving and need their space. Rest in peace to Celeste. Let me know what you guys think about this.
Trump just admitted this on camera. That fancy new ballroom that everybody was talking about, it's not really a ballroom. This man straight up said that the military is building a massive new complex right under the ballroom. Right under it.
Military is building a big complex under the ballroom, which has come out recently because of a stupid lawsuit that was filed.
So the only reason he talked about this is because a lawsuit came out. That's the only reason people knew. Other than that, that was a big ass secret. I need y'all to think about that for a second. Why would the military be building something under the ballroom? Is this just an upgraded bunker for emergencies? Or is it for something bigger, darker? What do y'all think they're really building down there? Are they prepping for some doomsday event or a fallout shelter for something big to happen? Because they're building this where if something does happen, they don't have to leave the area. They're good, fool. They're good on food. They're good on fucking everything. It just be crazy how they just say things right in front of people and people still don't comprehend or don't understand or just don't look at the severity of the situation. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down below in the comments.
PS5 sales have dropped by almost 50% after Sony raised the prices. For those unfamiliar, Sony recently raised the price of the base PS5 to $650. By the way, the console launched at $500 back in 2020, and the PS5 Pro is even worse as it costs $900 now. Well, the numbers are finally in, and Sony doing this has basically tanked the console's sales. Sales of the console are down by 46%, and they're expected to go even lower as Sony is currently forecasting a 6% annual decline in gaming revenue.
It's because he wasn't interested in grown-ups. He was interested in... You're sort of the heart of gold. You look after the kids in the club. It's a bit like you in real life, isn't it?
Well, I'm always surrounded by teenagers and kids. I mean, the rest of the cast are very young. And I think if you can keep an open mind with young people, it's great. And that's what rock and roll's all about.
I'm not going to say who this is. I'm sure the comment section will help me out here. Let's just say this is another example that the UK has its very own version of Hollywood, and the things that some people think are revelation are just the same cycles of a dark, evil-rooted industry that takes advantage of its young admirers. No, this is what happens when we put our attention and our hearts into worldly things. This is what it gives us back. And let this be a glimpse behind the veil of the people who were put on the pedestals in these industries, and we'll use this as an example of why we should not be following these people at all.
Oh my god, aliens exist, confirmed breaking news. I didn't even know how to make this video. Basically, a high-ranking general or some whistleblower, but we think it's a general, went to Congress and just were like, hey, I don't want this anymore. This is freaking me out. Here's the entire operating procedure on how the Pentagon and Department of Justice, who has this very secret program called Immaculate Constellation, goes out and retrieves fallen spacecraft. Congress was like, They crash a lot? Yeah, they do. And well, we had to make a team to go and pick up the spacecraft so that it wouldn't cause any panic. Congress says, how come we didn't know about this? And the general was like, hey, basically the Pentagon wanted me to tell you that you guys are very untrustworthy and you guys are always on TV. And Congress was like, yeah, that makes sense. We do talk a lot on TV. So then Congress was like, well, let's go talk to the Department of Justice. Department of Justice was like, no, there is no such thing as Immaculate Constellation being as one of our programs. And Congress was like, we never told you the name. So you just confirmed that it exists, because how would you know it's called Immaculate Constellation? And they're like, oh, damn, that's a good one. They literally outed themselves on a rookie mistake. And here's the kicker. They're not even aliens. They're not from another planet, I mean. They're from here. Have fun down that rabbit hole. It's probably a whole new species.
This is part 2 of Celeste's repost on TikTok, and it just gives you a glimpse of what her mindset was and how manipulated she really was. If you're wondering why this tattoo looks familiar, it's because Celeste and David had a matching one, and you can figure out why it says shh. And again, I'm sorry, I'm going to say it every single time. Even though she viewed this as a relationship, it's because she was manipulated and groomed by him. A minor can't consent to a relationship with an adult. It is heartbreaking to see that she truly felt like she loved him, and he was just abusing her the entire time and eventually would take her life. Proud of my man always. He goes through things he doesn't even talk about and works his ass off every day, yet he still remains soft, loving, and reliable. He is hands down the strongest man I know. And here he is in the comments. It says, I love her. And this was about 2 weeks before she's first reported missing. How I'm treating my man all 2024. Me whenever someone gets me Hello Kitty, and as you know, she loved Hello Kitty. Because she was a child, by the way. Not saying that adults don't love Hello Kitty, it's just she was a child. How life feels when you aren't dating a lying hoe. And there's another post somewhere where she's talking about how loyal she is. Oh, David. Looks like David knows something that we don't. I wish I knew the context in which she reposted this from. When I see my daughter come out of a Hellcat Charger at 4 a.m., I'm not used to a girl buying me stuff. And this brings up the question, how is she buying him stuff? She's a child. She didn't work. A, where is she getting the money from? And B, why does she feel the need to buy stuff for somebody who already has all the money he needs? Here's the one I was talking about. When he checks my phone and sees nothing because I'm loyal. Nah, I'm not drinking anymore. I got sober. The state bro found me in. Drunk as a skunk right now. Me looking at him, realizing he's the best thing to ever happen to me. Another one that just breaks my heart because he would be the worst thing to ever happen to her. He's evil. I just want him to hold me and tell me everything's okay. How life feels when you start choosing alcohol based on its percentage instead of flavor. And I know kids do stuff that they're not supposed to, but she would have been freshly 13 at this point. Thank you for every place you've taken me to. I don't think there's a love stronger than an older sister and her younger brother. This one's pretty sad too. And I do feel heartbroken for her siblings. You still together? Us? This MF got me thinking, if I get treated this good when I'm his girlfriend, how good could I get treated as his wife? I love him so much. He had her so manipulated, you guys. This is just sad. Me as a kid thinking my parents would stop fighting, and she reposts this while still being very much a kid. And you have to wonder what her home life was like based off of stuff like this. When a man finally proposes to my stubborn and hard-headed daughter, seeing his sexy ass in real life. When he still likes me after seeing me drunk. It really is a sight to see. My man's phone, if he ever does a peso pluma move on me. He had her so manipulated, she thought that she was in a legitimate relationship with somebody that loved her, and ultimately he would take her life.
This whole case is just sad because you could just see how sick this dude was, what he was doing to this girl behind the scenes. Nobody did nothing about it. You know, you could tell by the reposts. His reposts are even worse. You know, he's comment, you know what I'm saying? Like, if he was with a girl his age, whatever. But the fact that he was with someone that has no consent to nothing and is vulnerable, like, obviously we don't get it because we're not David, but like, I don't know, bro, just it's over. It's over for him. It's over. Well, hopefully.
What's that? Oh, this new tactic is being used to at parks, and it's not what you think, and it's absolutely terrifying. Tell me more! Yeah, this is crazy. This new tactic that has been coming out lately that people are reporting is insane. What they're saying that's happening is children will be playing at the parks and another child will come up and play with another one. After some time of playing, one of the people in charge of said child that came to play at the other one comes up and tells them, hey, I'm gonna go sit in the car, I'm gonna honk the horn soon, and you need to come get in the vehicle. So they'll go get in the vehicle, and then maybe 5 or 10 minutes later, they honk the horn. Here's where it gets a little eerie though, because these children are being taught to then the kid that they're playing with to bring them with them to the vehicle. Now, they're being trained to make sure that the parent of the child is on their phone or somehow else distracted. So when the horn honks, they may wait a little bit to make sure that the parent's distracted, and then they'll start to go to that vehicle. Meanwhile, the vehicle's ready to go as soon as the children get in, and they take off.
Pringles aren't potatoes. Did you know that? So Pringles used to be called on the packaging Pringle potato chips or Pringle chips. The FDA made them remove the chips because they're not chips. They taste so good they do, but in the FDA policy, you have to have potato in your product to call it chips. Yeah. When you look at Pringles, if you get, and you can go research it, they're not potato, they're crushed up powder. They crush up this it's just like chemicals and make it into a paste. And then they dry it. And that's a Pringle. They're not the 0% potato. In a Pringle, when I scanned the pack with the Safe Choice app, it came back 83% ultra processed. This is unbelievable.
The most popular American shampoos are legally packed with formaldehyde and the same hair loss chemicals that are used in industrial chemicals to clean oily garage floors.
You are washing your hair with industrial poison. Many brands use DMDM hydantoin, a cheap preservative that constantly releases formaldehyde directly into your scalp. They make it foam using sodium laureth sulfate, an industrial chemical often contaminated with 1,4-dioxane, a known carcinogen. To make the artificial scent last, they pump it full of phthalates, toxic endocrine disruptors that absorb through your pores. We scanned dozens of everyday products with the Healthism app and flagged hundreds of cancer-linked carcinogens, hidden neurotoxins, and industrial additives hiding in plain sight. Comment app if you want to find safer alternatives.
The cause of death of Celeste Rivas has been revealed, and guys, it might not be what you expected. David was a bad man. On God, he was a bad man. It looks like she was a sharp instrument. Prosecutors have not identified what instrument that may be, but obviously after that, her piece by piece and put in the trunk of his Tesla to rot there for months. Did y'all expect this? Did y'all see this coming? Justice for Celeste. Let us know your thoughts. Do y'all think David's going to get life in prison?
You need to blur out your house on Google Maps right now because you're basically giving criminals free access to your house. All they got to do is drop your address into Google Maps, zoom in, and boom. They can see every window, every gate, every way in. Here's how to blur it out. Search your address, click your home's image under the search bar. Once it's in full screen, hit the 3 red dots and click Report a Problem, center the house in the red box, select My Home, and hit Submit. Google will blur it out permanently like your house never existed. Send this to every person you love so they can do it too.
This new study just figured out how to flush plastic out of your body in 7 days. Microplastics and the chemicals that come with them, stuff like BPA and phthalates, they're basically everywhere. They're in your food, your shampoo, your air, and the research, it keeps connecting them to really scary things like hormone problems, heart disease, and metabolic disease. And if you look into it, it can all feel pretty hopeless and overwhelming. So researchers in Australia, they just did something that nobody's really done before. They took 60 people and they just rebuilt their entire diet to strip plastic out at every step, and they watched what happened. They worked with over 100 food producers to make sure that nothing in the supply chain ever touched plastic. They were so committed that people in this study got their groceries delivered in cardboard packaging insulated with sheep's wool instead of the usual plastic. And after just 7 days, BPA in their pee dropped by 60%, and 2 other plastic chemicals dropped by 54 and 38%. Researchers said that 3 things made the biggest difference. The first was canned food. Every can that a person ate in a day, it was linked to a 14% jump in BPA. I mean, most liners are literally coated in it. 2, the plastic packaging on food, even on fresh fruits and vegetables. And 3, ultra-processed foods, right? Plastic gets baked into them at basically every step of production. And so the data shows that we may actually have more control over all this than we think. Though the accessibility and the viability of making these changes, it's going to vary by individual as well as companies. But hey, in the meantime, let me know your thoughts and reactions in those comments. Share to spread the word and follow to stay in the loop.
Scientists just created a male birth control that actually works, and some guys are already saying no to it because it threatens their masculinity. So basically, scientists just officially created a male birth control that actually works. There are no hormones, there's no side effects, and it reverses itself in 6 weeks.
The idea of male-focused birth control has been a hot topic for a while, but researchers have struggled because the science is complex. Now, scientists at the Salk Institute say they've actually made a breakthrough.
Now, this is where it gets crazy because the last time that they tried this, guys actually quit the study because of mood swings and acne. Meanwhile, women have obviously been already dealing with those exact same side effects from their birth control for 66 years now. That obviously includes mood swings, weight gain, and blood clots, but nobody stopped that. But it gets even better because there is actual research right now showing that some guys won't take the male birth control because it threatens their masculinity. The science is right there, and guys are saying no because it makes them feel less manly. So that's insane. It's not out yet, but the company is saying that they're trying to launch it within 2 years, and it could just be a shot every 3 months or a patch. Women have been dealing with these side effects for almost 70 years, and guys quit after 3 months.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, bro. If you do this, you may as well just snip your jingle bells off and join the other side, because it's over after this. It's just over, bro. You're already cooking yourself. So if you swing that way, better get swinging.
No way. Guys, he got 6 toes. Shut up! On both feet. What kind of sneakers is he wearing? Shut up! Not only that, guys, it gets even weirder. It seems to me that this guy has, or whoever that is, or whatever that is, 7 fingers? Who the hell is this? Huh? Who is this guy right here with 7 fingers, bro? Because I heard of people having 6 before, but 7? I don't think this is normal. 6 toes? I remember back in elementary school, there was a kid named 6 Toe. Shout out to him. I don't know if he has 6 toes. I don't know why they named him that, but that was his name. I don't know, guys. This is giving me not from here vibes. Shut up! I don't know. Maybe he's different. Or it's different. Whatever this is, I don't know. But what I do know is that this video is for entertainment purposes only. This could possibly be AI. Right, guys? Because stuff like this is not real and it doesn't exist, right? I don't know, guys. Let me know if you know anybody with 6 toes and 7 fingers. Let me know. I'm out.
People have just found out why they actually get this. Ever had it where your vision just starts to see all these weird like particles just like flying around? Almost like bugs like walking over your eyes. It just look weird. Or maybe even like static sometimes, similar to how it looks in the photo. First of all, eye floaters. These little dots, they look like bugs that you might see sometimes. Now, these are not in the outside world. These are actually inside the back of your eye. They are essentially little nuggets of gel and protein that are there to protect your eye. And they are just on the surface floating around. Pretty grim when you think about it, actually. I kind of feel a bit sick now. They are literally just drifting around the fluid of your eye, there to protect you. And when they do this, they then cast shadows into your retina, which means you will see them when you're just looking around. But it is nothing dangerous at all, completely harmless, and pretty much 99.9% of people have it. However, something called visual snow, this is similar and a lot of people experience this. Essentially what it sounds like, it looks like visual snow and static. Your vision looks like static sometimes. Some people have this on a mild level, some on a much severe scale. Many things can lead to this, but most commonly it's things such as anxiety and depression. But a lot of research also shows that this is basically just faulty signaling in the visual cortex of your brain, and again, it's not actually harmful. So the thing with visual snow is scientists aren't 110% certain exactly what it is. They have an idea of what leads to it and what it is, and they know that it's probably nothing terrible, but I guarantee a lot more people than you think actually do have this. So comment down below and tag someone if you ever get any of these.
Justin Bieber's performance at Coachella was supposed to completely destroy his career, but instead, something completely unexpected happened. Today, Justin Bieber is followed by hundreds of millions of fans, yet he has had one of the most difficult and unusual careers of any current singer. He went through extremely disturbing interviews, where he was asked uncomfortable questions at this age, and other moments on TV where he was pushed to do things he didn't want to do. On top of those low points, we've seen him lash out at paparazzi constantly following him everywhere, preventing him from having any kind of private life. But what truly changed everything happened in 2022. Justin Bieber was diagnosed with a serious facial condition. He canceled his world tour, which was supposed to help him rebuild his public image. Instead, everything collapsed financially. He ended up with $24 million in debt to his tour promoter, $8.8 million owed to his manager, and even his own team admitted he wasn't doing well at all. Soon after, Justin made the most important decision of his life. He sold 290 songs to pay off his debt, and after that, total silent. He left millions of fans without any news. But everything changed at Coachella 2026. He made $10 million from a single performance using just a laptop. We all saw him perform his iconic song from a laptop, basically singing along through YouTube. It looked like karaoke. The reason is simple. After selling his catalog, he wasn't legally allowed to perform those songs anymore, but he took the risk. And the next day, everything changed. He reached #1 on Spotify worldwide with over 77 million streams in a single day. So now the question is the real Justin Bieber finally back?
Yo, Justin Bieber cannot catch a break, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Every time I see bro, he's just going through a detrimental tragedy. Like, he just needs like a nap or something. I don't know, bro.
What's that? Oh, unsettling information is coming out about people that have donor listed on their IDs. Tell me more. Yeah, there's been some investigating done, and now a news article came out on the New York Times about how if you get in an accident, you're being rushed to getting your organs taken prematurely. There have been people showing signs of crying, gasping, or showing other signs of life while this is taking place. What? This has been proven to be true, and one woman's family in particular came out talking about her case. She was a 38-year-old woman, got in an accident. She was showing signs of life, such as tears developing in her eyes. They were trying to pull the life support on her, but her sister said, no, I've seen her move. We can't do that. But the doctors insisted and said that was just reflexes, and they tried to proceed to take her organs. They still said, no, we're not doing that. And the doctors stopped everything, took her back to her room, and now she's had a full recovery. Oh, goody.
Another UFO whistleblower was found after he agreed to testify in front of Congress. They found him in his home due to an overdose this time. Yeah, an Air Force veteran that was part of secret government UFO programs just months before his hearing. So he's 39 years old, Matthew James Sullivan, died in his Falls Church home, a lethal mix of alcohol and antidepressants. Oh my God. And one of the antidepressants is very interesting because apparently it's one that's used to treat children for bedwetting.
And he overdosed on that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But remember what Amy Eskridge said.
Yes.
She said, if I from an overdose, I did it. It wasn't me. So this may be one of the ways they're taking them out, and maybe it's proven out. Who knows?
Right in our faces.
But why it's too close to everything else happening, and it just so happens that he was going to, he's gonna testify to Congress. That's serious.
Yeah.
He has a date for that, and he decides, something's going on.
They're listening for sure.
Bizarre footage shows the Starbucks CEO scrambling over their $9 coffee price, calling it an affordable premium experience, despite using some of the cheapest fillers in their drinks.
Regardless of what your income level is, well, it's less than $10 and I get a really premium experience.
Starbucks Macchiato is hit with 7 times more carcinogens than any other bean. That coffee is burned at 480 degrees in factory vats, releasing acrylamide, the same carcinogen as cigarette smoke, then drained into plastic-lined cups, shedding 25,000 microplastics into every drink. That caramel drizzle is worse. Factory-cooked corn syrup, crammed with cheap fat sealed with potassium sorbate, the same preservative used in shampoo. Their Frappuccino and Macchiato both scanned 3 cheap emulsifiers tied to gut inflammation. Comment exposure to scan any food.
Proof that Hollyweird is real.
He believes in UFOs.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you think you ever been abducted?
Hell no.
You think you ever seen anything that looked different? Why do you believe?
Because I'm an alien.
Why?
Because I'm an alien.
Explain.
I can't explain.
Do you feel like, and I don't mean, you know, sometimes people think alien with the eyes and outer space and all that stuff, but you really feel like you're not of this planet?
I don't know. No, I'm an alien.
Well, you know what? Fuck it, I'm an alien too.
For sure.
There it is. You know what I'm saying?
In that clip, you can clearly hear Chris Brown refer to himself as an alien. Of course, many people say, oh, it's just a figure of speech. You know, he's saying he's so good at singing, he's not of this world. But what if it's deeper than that? So many celebrities and musicians over the years have referred to themselves as not of this world. Famously, we've heard Lil Wayne make a song literally titled, I Am Not a Human Being. For entertainment purposes only, is it possible that aliens already walk amongst us? Comment below with your thoughts. Am I onto something, or am I really tripping this time? Wake up.
I don't know what Chris Brown got going on, but the only thing is, bro, if you want a happy marriage, keep your wife away from him. That's the only thing I've learned about Chris Brown, bro. All these dudes that be letting their girl go around him, that ain't their girl no more. So that's the only thing I took from this video.
Scientists just created the first pill ever designed to make your dog live longer, and it could be available by the end of this year. Obviously, nothing like this has ever existed before for any living thing on the entire planet, and the way that it works is genuinely insane.
First in the nation study is pioneering this
longevity medication for dogs.
Basically, the reason why big dogs don't live nearly as long as small dogs do comes down to one single hormone. A Great Dane lives about 7 years long and a Chihuahua would live 15. It's the same exact species, but it's completely different lifespans. This pill that scientists are creating right now will go after that exact hormone and basically tell your dog's body to slow it down. In early results of the study, they were actually able to see at least 1 extra year of life, which is about 5 years in dog years.
Studying with this 5-year-long trial is exactly how much time we can get, but we're hoping for at least 1 year of very good quality life.
And if this is able to get fully approved, it would officially become the first anti-aging drug that has ever been cleared for any species on the planet. They've already been able to clear 2 of the 3 FDA steps, and the last one could happen now at any day. If it clears, you could be giving this to your dog by the end of this year in 2026, and it'll only be around $40 to $90 per month. Our dogs are about to have a better healthcare plan than we do.
Hollywood Records contract, and I'm signing it because I'm going to have my first record ever and selling my soul to Hollywood Records. That's what I'm doing right now.
Selena Gomez should have never said that in front of her camera, because today she is no longer the same, and we just understand why. The video we saw was the day she signed her contract with Hollywood Records. She says word for word, "I'm going to sell my soul." No one took it seriously 16 years ago, but what has happened to her since she did that has been terrifying. Remember how her voice changed? And I'm not talking about a small change, I'm talking about a completely different voice. Look at how she speaks in one of her latest interviews.
It has been a wonderful addition to my life. I feel extremely lucky.
We can all say it's not the same person, and I'm not even talking about the empty look she gives. Everything about her is different, but the strangest part is her behavior. Look at that moment during an interview where she kisses her boyfriend's feet in front of everyone. The Selena from before, the one we knew, reserved, discreet. She would have never done that. And it's not just a weird moment, it's behavior that absolutely doesn't match the person she used to be. And then there is her face. I'm not just talking about surgery. From one photo to another, the proportions change. She no longer has the same jaw or the same nose, but most importantly, she doesn't have the same height anymore. She has grown, which is impossible at 33 years old. Some people notice this by comparing all her photos. You've also noticed that we barely see her in public anymore. She shows herself less and less, and when she does appear, it's always controlled, framed, as if every image has to be approved before being shown. Selena told us that day that she was going to sell her soul, but who could have predicted that it would lead to all of this? And today, everyone is asking the same question. Is it really still Selena?
Yeah, nah, they definitely got her, because nobody just changes like this. You know, people grow and evolve, but like, nah, she's gone, bro. She's gone. My fault, Justin.
If you survive this haunted house, you get $20,000, but no one has ever made it to the end. McCamey Manor is not a quick buck. This is actually the most extreme, scariest haunted house in the world. You have to sign a 40-page waiver that says they can literally do anything to you except intentionally, but they will you to the brink of and you are consenting. And this place is technically a charity, and that's what makes it all legal. They'll pull your out, bury you alive, shave your head, and force you to eat your own hair. Use CIA level torture methods on you. This is a series. I'll give you all those details in the playlist below, don't worry. This is Russ McCamey, the fine Christian man that runs this show. He was originally doing it in California, but then they kind of kicked him out, and so now it's in Tennessee. I can't show you pictures of the bad stuff, but just Google McCamey Manor. Some literally crazy things pop up. There's also a YouTube channel. Petitions were made to shut the manor down, but as of right now, it is still a thing, with a 10-year waiting list of over 25,000 people. If you like my content, follow my TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube for more. It really helps when you interact.
I don't know if it's more concerning that this is legal or that there's 25,000 people waiting to go through this. Yo, if one of y'all are watching this or on that waiting list, you need some help, bro.
Yeah, the Coke's made with real Coke.
The original Coke, yeah.
No, today.
Today?
Yes.
I thought they replaced it with caffeine.
No, they use
Still?
coca leaves for flavor.
Still?
Yes. In fact, the company that brings in the coca leaves to make Coca-Cola is the #1 creator of medical grade Coke.
It looks like The Rock is paying his dues, because look what he wore at the Met Gala. These celebrities sure do love to humiliate themselves when they want to climb up in the ranks, don't they? And again, This is for everyone to see. He shows up at the Met Gala wearing this right here. A skirt. Again.
This just doesn't make sense. How does Taylor Swift have a commercial in 1981? And there's a part of me that's even scared to show you this video because I don't know what to believe anymore. And even though they're gonna kick me off for even showing you this, I have to show you. But look, Taylor Swift is an icon. I mean, she's been doing this for years. World renowned as one of the best, dropping countless top 100 Billboard hits. But something doesn't add up here. How she was actually born in 1989. But then when glamour dolls were around, they were supposed to rival even the Bratz dolls and the Barbie dolls. So then why was Taylor Swift in this commercial?
The Glamour Gals collection. Dolls, party plates, fancy firebirds, the show place collector's kit, each sold separately. You can send in proofs of purchase from any 3 Glamour Gals dolls. Jessie, Danny, Lonnie, or Shara in any of 3 outfits. And get Jessie in fancy formal free. Details on the specially marked packages. Offer expires on March 1st, 1982. Glamour Gals collection. Jessie and beautiful bride.
I want you to take a second and guess what island this is. It's a very historic island that has changed the course of history. I will give you 4 hints. Hint number 1, what was seen on this island has inspired movies, books, paintings. It's also inspired fear for thousands of years. Hint number 2, this island is connected to one of the most strangest, one of the most mysterious writings ever written. Hint number 3, a man that was here claimed that he saw the sky crack open. See where I'm going? And hint number 4, this island alone, this island has changed the way millions of people think about the future of humanity. And here's the answer. This is the island of Patmos. The island where John wrote the book of Revelation. The island where he saw all of the visions of the end times. The words written on this island have been bone-chilling for humans over the course of history. And the thing is, it's gonna happen one day.
Countries where it's still not 2026. In Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia follows the Islamic Hijri calendar, making the year 1447. In Thailand. Thailand uses the Buddhist era calendar, making the year to 569. In Bhutan. Bhutan's Buddhist calendar places them in the year to 153. In Iran. Iran uses the solar Hijri calendar, so their year is 1405. In Nepal. Nepal follows the Bikram Sambat calendar, making their year 2082. And Ethiopia. Ethiopia is currently in the year 2019 because they use their own calendar system.
Breaking news, we now know David 100% kept Celeste's finger with his name on it, and we know exactly how, when, where, and why he took Celeste. All of this information was revealed by prosecutors today in court. We now know that David met Celeste when she was 11 and he was 18. When she turned, they started dating. Celeste's parents found out and took away her cell phone. However, she kept running away to David's home. David then bought Celeste a cell phone and had it delivered to her. The night before Celeste had her taken, she and David got into a major argument via text message. Celeste was upset that David was seeing other girls and she threatened his career. The next day, David invited Celeste over to his home and he ordered her an Uber in order to get her there. It was then that he did so by and allowing her to. David then takes Celeste's phone and goes to Santa Barbara. During that time, he is calling and texting her phone, quote, "Where are you?" as to pretend like she never showed up. However, at that time, she was actually in an inflatable pool inside David's garage. In Santa Barbara, they found her passport, ID, and other.
Yo, I don't know what's going on in this dude's brain. Like, he thought he's in like Romeo and Juliet or something. Like, we're both gonna go out in the end. Like, bro, no, you're going to jail.
It is now confirmed America's #1 strawberry is tied to cancer. Driscoll's, who controls a third of U.S. strawberries, is sprayed with up to 371 chemical pesticides before it reaches the store.
They're putting mosquito spray on your strawberries and calling them organic. Virtually every U.S. strawberry starts as a lab-bred clone smothered in Captan, the same chemical and paint preservatives, dipped straight into fungicide baths, seeping 3 carcinogens into the flesh. rich. That's only the start. Those berries are bleached in chlorine, then locked in plastic so deep no rinse can remove the residue. Nearly a third of strawberries scanned bifenthrin, a chemical linked to cancer. Comment exposure to scan safer brands.
I gave you all this ice cream before dinner. Why don't we just make it our little secret?
You know something, Mr. Horton? You're sneaky.
You know something, Arnold? I really like you. I really like you. You and I are gonna have a lot of good times together. I think I got some pictures around here of a bunch of us skinny dipping. You guys are gonna love them.
You don't have any clothes on either.
You know that pizza would taste a whole lot better with a glass of... you guys care for a sip?
No thanks, we're too young.
We need to talk about this episode of Different Strokes and why it's so disturbing 40 years later. And what I find strange is the choice of pizza and wine. He's using food and drinks to create bonds with children that have to keep secrets from the parents. The producers of the show claimed they wanted to warn kids of stranger danger. But when you look at the boards of these networks and the people pushing the scripts, you have to ask, were they really warning us or were they just trying to normalise things?
Crazy theory, Mr. Beast might not have a soul. Anytime you see Mr. Beast smile, his eyebrows don't move. And that's a clear tell when somebody's being truthful or not, and when someone has true emotion. Is if they smile with their eyes, and if their eyebrows don't move up when you smile, it's a fake smile. Him on camera and him when the camera's off are two completely different people.
They take your body and put it in warm water and salt. And then it floats. And let me tell you this. Did you know that when your body, right, is not worried about being a body, and your ears is not worried about hearing sound, and your eyes is not worried about seeing, something else happen? Yeah, you get in a meditative state. In that meditative state, you can do a lot of things in it. You can control the world. But they kind of like, I'm saying this. If you take warm water, put salt in it, anything you put in, it's going to float. So they put the human body in it to automatically make the body float. And the pressure of the water go in, silence and complete darkness. And that's how you read the simulation.
But is that the same?
Watch this.
It just came out in the Epstein files that the elites were purposely trying to lower testosterone in men so that men can't fight back, putting estrogen in the water, making men very passive and weak through social media. They're telling them, oh, your masculinity is toxic and you should actually just be super soft and sweet all the time and gentle and never fight against anything. It's to cover up the things that they're doing. Because if every single man had the mindset of, no, our job is to protect women and children no matter what, they would not be getting away with the things that they're getting away with.
She revealed why men today are no longer the same, and it's terrifying. More and more, we've been told that masculinity was the problem, that men needed to change, become softer, calmer, and never raise their voice, and we all accepted it without questioning anything. But what was discovered in the files today proves that all of this was part of a much bigger plan to deliberately lower men's testosterone through what we drink, what we eat, and what we consume on social media, to make men passive so they never fight back again. Because the only thing that could destroy all of this is men who decide to protect women and children no matter what, curious men who ask questions, and especially men who refuse to look away. And that is exactly what they do not want. So they found the perfect solution: convince the entire world that those kinds of men are dangerous, that wanting to protect people is toxic. And while everyone debates masculinity, they continue carrying out their plan effortlessly, because it's already working without them even having to force it.
Scientists may have just discovered what you see right after you, and it's surprisingly beautiful. When this elderly lady passed away during a brain scan, they didn't realize the machine was still recording, and doctors captured the first ever footage of the human brain as it was dying, and what they saw was completely unexpected. Instead of her brain instantly shutting down, it sent a massive burst of signals, but these weren't just random signals. These were the signals your brain uses to create what you see in your head, which means that in the final moments of your life, you will be seeing a final replay of all your best memories.
I bet y'all cannot guess what zodiac sign appears the most in the Epstein files, and I do not agree with this. It's an astrologist on this app that went through every last person that was in those files' birthday and found out their zodiac sign. And the only sign that's in the clear is Sagittarius. Sagittarius only got mentioned 2 times, but the rest, like I said, I don't look at this shit.
Which zodiac sign appears the most in the Epstein files? In last place, Sagittarius, only 2 mentions, never doubted you guys. In 11th place, Scorpio, just 4 times. I mean, their whole life is an exorcism, why would they need that? In 10th place, Virgo, 5 times. Honestly, Virgos are freakier than that, they have their own dungeons.
Listen.
9th place, Aquarius, 7 times. Sharing that place with Pisces, they probably just sleepwalked in there. 8th place, Taurus, 8 times. They were just too lazy. 7th place, Aries, 9 times. Probably weren't invited anymore after they broke something. 6th place, Libra, 11 times. They probably just wanted to be in on the party and then realized what they signed up for. Sharing the place, Capricorn. They thought it was a networking event. And now for our top 3.
I'm gonna let her tell you these top 3, but I want y'all to jump in the comments and let me know if you agree with this list. I don't know if this list is true. I don't know if it's not, but listen to the top 3.
In 3rd place, Gemini, total mention 87 times. I mean, are we surprised? In 2nd place, my sign, Cancer, 615 times. And before you tell me that it's also a name for a disease, wait till you hear 1st place. And coming at number 1, with a whopping 1,829 times, Leo.
Wow.
A 14-year-old boy just made over $3 million overnight. And he did this by buying a meme. The meme is called Brett and it's on the Base blockchain. He bought Brett 2 weeks ago and now it's worth over $3 million. He first said he wasn't gonna sell because he wanted to see it grow to $10 million. But now he's saying he wants to hold it to $20 million. Should he keep holding or should he get out now?
Okay, there are 5 big new developments in the race to contain this hantavirus. Firstly, the WHO have confirmed 2 new suspected cases of hanta today, thousands of miles apart. The first is a lady in Spain, while the other is in this remote island of Tristan da Cunha, which is pretty insane luck for the only 214 people that live on this island. Number 2, the CDC have activated a level 3 emergency response to this outbreak. That is the lowest level of emergency evacuation. Number 3, Spanish authorities are now preparing, quote, an unprecedented quarantine and evacuation operation for the 149 on board ahead of the ship's arrival to Tenerife on Sunday. Number 4, we've got the test results back from the first suspected case of hanta in someone that wasn't a passenger on the ship. That was that Dutch air hostess who was hospitalized yesterday. Good news, the test came back negative. That's a really good sign, but there is caution to that though, because the symptoms for the Andes strain do take weeks to appear. So it's not over yet. And lastly, some experts like Dr. Simpson, for example, who I highly recommend checking out, are now saying that because this seems to be a new virus or a mutated one, we do not know how infective it is or its case fatality rate.
Hantavirus changes very, very rapidly. It is a very rapidly mutating virus like influenza and like COVID. And so what we knew about the old viruses may not be true for these viruses. So be careful of that information.
What happened to this man is probably the worst thing that could ever happen to you. This is known as the 1,000-yard stare. And yes, all of these photos are 100% real. Most of the photos coming from World War I, II, and the Vietnam War. But there is a lot more recent examples of this as well. It's known as the 1,000-yard stare because of what the eyes are saying, the story they tell. It's also a form of shell shock. You may have heard that term before. What causes this is by seeing something very sudden and very traumatic, obviously like you would in war. Essentially being in an emotional shock that puts your body into this constant state of horror where you can barely even function. I'm sure you've all heard stories as well from back in the war how shell shock victims were actually treated so badly we didn't really know anything about it. We barely knew anything about mental health and how to treat people anyway. Now luckily nowadays there is a lot more treatment for people that do experience this and they can get what they need. But it is still absolutely horrendous and can leave people in states like this without the proper treatment. It can even lead to extreme cases of paralysis and many other horrendous things that come as a side effect. So if you ever see a video or a photo of someone looking like this, just imagine what they've actually been through.
So this is where I look at a photo of a baby and I rate it on a scale from 1 to 10. I started doing this last year with the babies of my the staff here, and over the summer we got a brand new crop for me to rate, and our customer our costumer, Layla, and her husband Sebastian had a baby boy named Kai. She'll rate their baby. All right. Finally, wearing Ed Ellen DeGeneres baby clothes, so that's...
So I stumbled across this on the internet, and it's honestly stranger than I thought. This was a regular segment where she would rate people's babies on a scale of 1 to 10, giving a plus or minus for things like family members, or get this, having too many fat rolls. But here's the part that really makes you wonder. She'd always drop a disclaimer, don't rate your babies at home. This whole era just feels off. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below.
You could say whatever about this, but like, what are you rating? You see what I'm like? Like, you know what I'm saying? All babies look the same. So what are you rating, Ellen? Tell me, bro, because I'm lost. I'm really lost. Like, I don't know. It just seems like you're Diddy, bro.
This is by the CIA. Codes to hack the universe. Did you guys know this?
Wait, universe?
Yeah. You know, like how in GTA, like you have the up, down, 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 up. You know, the CIA like has stuff that's like connected to the human body. If you say out loud like a mantra, it can actually heal you. I went down the whole rabbit hole. There was a guy who was like having pain in his like thigh, so he would go 55515, and he would keep saying that, and he would get healed. Another lady, she didn't believe it. She has like a headache. Okay, she says it like as a mantra. Kept saying it. These numbers, if you see, there's other ones. Unexpected money, steady long-term income,
5207418.
money knowledge, manifest dream job, money coincidence. They're called grab-a-boy codes.
This is weird as shit. This former fashion executive said the strangest thing to these women that confirms everything we've talked about with the elites doing stuff with women. So it was this guy named Peter Nygaard, and he started this company in 1967 called Nygaard International. This guy becomes this huge millionaire doing all this stuff for clothes, and eventually, as the time goes on, he starts having a lot of weird allegations that start coming out about sexual allegations, bunch of weird stuff. And dude, I found the craziest video of this guy talking to these women. I don't know what it was for. It looks like they're like models or something. He's talking to them at this table, and he's basically telling them how he wants to buy the placenta and a bunch of these other things that are like in their body. And he specifically says the richest one is from black women.
Bro, that's insane.
I'm dead. He's talking about some like, yeah, it's so rich with stem cells. I gotta show you, bro. I have to just show you the video, and I'll just let it speak for itself.
The stem cell technology that Peter and I are investing in is called SCNT, which takes the egg of a young, perfect woman specimen, takes the egg and takes out the nucleus and puts our DNA in the nucleus. And this is part of this genetic greatness that we don't see in any other race on the planet. Black women from Africa. You girls have a kind of a monopoly on this genetic perfection, and we want some of that. Whatever I did, he's gonna outbid me. I bought about $60,000 of eggs. Yeah, that's very valuable. You is so rich with stem cells.
What the
That wasn't a comedy special. That was a humiliation ritual. And everything that Cat Williams said on that stage was the absolute truth, especially when he pointed out to Kevin Hart, when I first met you, you were a 6'3" white man. Now, a lot of y'all may not believe in soul swapping and all that good stuff, but it's real, okay? I'm going to just leave it as that. In addition to that, when Cat Williams stood on that stage and said that he was the only one with a soul, he wasn't lying. Now, let's tap into the symbolism a little bit. If you look on the screen on the stage, there were two goats, two Baphomets, okay? The red, the color red, the energy, the whole nine. Now, let me just say this. A lot of people was mad about the George Floyd joke, but people don't realize that that was symbolism. It was a message in that joke, okay? Now, I cannot say too much on this video, but what I will say, if you go back to that time that the situation happened with George Floyd and what was going on then, and look at what's going on now with the situation in the water with that thing with the people on it, y'all get where I'm coming from, because I can't say it because they will flag my video. So with that being said, just start reading between the lines, because a lot of people always want to see everything ain't that deep. Baby, it is that deep. Everything ain't spiritual. Baby, everything is spiritual, okay? As above, so below, okay? With that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video, but it shit is always in our face and we fall for it every single time.
Look at LeBron's wife in the crowd. That look on her face felt like she already knew something was about to happen. And then, during the timeout, the big screen suddenly showed LeBron's entire legacy. His close friends and wife all showed up for this game. The NBA posted a tribute after the game. Is LeBron secretly preparing to retire? Pelinka had a private dinner with JJ Redick and Luka, and LeBron still wasn't involved. Right after Luka signed the extension, the Lakers started posting about him non-stop. A lot of the 23 signs around LA were replaced with Luka's 77. The Lakers went all in on Luka for the future, but what they didn't expect, Luka got hurt right before the playoffs. And in the end, the only person they could still rely on was 41-year-old LeBron James. When AD was still on the Lakers, he once asked LeBron a question: "When are you going to retire?" And Bron answered like this:
"Nobody knows. I just won't show up to work the next day."
One of the world's largest cities is sinking. Roads are fracturing, buildings have begun tilting, railways have become wobbly, and they've even had to add 14 new steps to their most famous monument as the ground underneath it falls. In fact, it's got to the point where some parts of the city are dropping at a rate of nearly an inch every single month. This is Mexico City. It's home to over 25 million people, and it has a really big problem. It sits on a giant aquifer. It's the city's main water source. But after decades of over-extraction, not only are they facing a chronic water crisis, but the ground and the soft soil above the aquifer is slowly compressing downwards as it gets emptier and emptier. But now, thanks to recent mappings by the most powerful radar system ever launched into space, NASA just showed that the city is sinking faster than even scientists expected. Over the past 100 years, some areas in Mexico have sunk more than 39 feet. That is staggering. And to make matters even worse, because the city was built on top of an ancient lake system, it essentially sits in this giant bowl surrounded by mountains. So when heavy rain comes, it naturally flows into the basin and has nowhere easy to escape. So ironically, Mexico City is now sinking, flooding, and running out of water at the same time. And there's not much they can do to reverse it.
Why did he host a 20v1 full of for a little RT? And then on top of that, when the little started dancing, why did he say, "Ooh, shit"? Like, he couldn't control himself. Like, he had to stop himself. And if you go on his page, he doesn't even address it. He actually, like, disabled his comments. And I'm about to just say what we're all saying, bro. Did he say "ooh shit" because the little girl was dancing in a certain way and he got like aroused or something? And if that's the case, should we call the authorities? Like, it's actually starting not to get funny anymore. And why in the name of God did he not edit that out? Like, did he not look back on that and was like, yo, that looks kind of crazy? And some of y'all might say, oh, it's because of the way she was dancing, like she almost fell or something, but still, it's like, bro, look, just the fact that he's hosting a 20v1 for children, it's just insane to me, bro. So it just adds up. It's like a 20v1 and then this girl was like dancing a certain way. You're like, ooh, shit. It's like, I don't know, bro. But I'm gonna need y'all to comment down below if this is just a joke and I'm just missing it, or is bro actually moving like Epstein and Diddy combined and we're just sitting here laughing at it, bro? Because that's absolutely insane.
Yeah, no, I seen the clip of this dude and it's just strange. Like, the whole video is just weird. Like, there's people defending it, but like, why are you having like a dating thing with people that... It's just not right, bro. I don't care how many views you get, bro. That's just strange. You're a 30-year-old, I don't know how old you are, but you're a grown man. So,
guys, somebody was just caught buying baby food from supermarkets and then putting inside of the jars and then putting it back on the shelf, and they did it across 3 different countries. So police just officially arrested a 39-year-old man who was walking in the grocery stores buying jars of baby food off of the shelf and then filling them.
In Austria are warning parents to stay alert after a jar of baby food was found contaminated with...
And then he returned the jars to the exact same shelf so that parents would end up buying it. 5 different confirmed jars were found across multiple different stores before anybody could consume them, which is obviously great. And the reason why all of this is happening is because the guy sent the baby food company a blackmail email demanding 2 million euros in cryptocurrency. And he told them within the email that if they did not pay within 6 days, he would start their products on store shelves. They obviously didn't pay, and he actually followed through. The brand is called Hip, and it's actually the #1 baby food brand in all of Europe. They have now recalled every single thing across Austria, Slovakia, and the Czech Republic. A customer was able to spot a jar that looked a little bit weird, and they found it before any babies were hurt, but this guy was fully ready for it to happen, and they just caught him yesterday.
Yep.
Interesting, huh? So, not sure if this picture's real or not, guys. First, let's just get that out the way. But people are saying that in India in 1990 that this was almost like a dump truck, like a dumpster, right? It looks like a dumpster where they just dump garbage in it. But some way, somehow, in 2023, we now have the Cybertrucks, and they kind of do look alike. Not saying they're alike, but they do look alike. Don't you agree? You know, sometimes we think that these are all new inventions, but maybe they've been here already. Like, this is like they say, there's nothing new under the sun, right? Not even us, because we've been under the sun, right? Come on, guys, something's going on here, and I wouldn't know. Maybe Elon would know, to be honest with you. Hey, maybe this idea did come from India. I wouldn't know. Maybe this was designed by a dust bin container from 1990. And now in 2023, we come up with this Cybertruck. This is what people are saying. Like I said, I don't know who put this picture together. Maybe they just putting stuff together that don't even make sense. But of course, guys, entertainment purposes only. These are just some pictures that I didn't find. Someone else found it, and I'm just showing you. Let me know what you think, guys. I'm out.
David's brother is currently facing backlash for launching his music career during the Celeste Rivas murder case. So on April 16th, David was arrested, but just 2 days before that, his brother, Caleb Burke, released his debut single, Imaginary Love, and just a few weeks after that, released another song. And because of the timing of all this, people are not happy with Caleb, accusing him of trying to benefit off the attention surrounding this horrific case. But Caleb just responded to the backlash, saying he's been making music for years, and even changed his artist name from Caleb to Kova because he does not want to be associated with his brother. And a couple weeks back, he even posted on his story saying all PDFs and should die, period. And the truth is, you can't pick your family, and he deserves a life outside of his brother, but the fact that he knew Celeste cannot be ignored either. He confirmed that the girl in this video backstage at one of David's concerts is indeed Celeste, and he was with her, but claims he did not know her well and did not know her age. So yes, Caleb has been making music for years, but ironically this rebrand is happening at the exact same time David is facing serious criminal charges, and because of that, a lot of people are thinking that he's using this as a marketing tactic.
Let me remind you, motherfucker, the most creepiest roast of all time. If you think that the roast of Kevin Hart went too far, oh my god.
Bob Saget then the girl in 1990. How do you make her? The Olsen twins say, well, Bob Saget hands you a chocolate milk that he just made, and you wake up 3 hours later lying on your stomach.
They're dying laughing.
What a tough gig that must have been, huh?
Look at
His
their
entire
creepy
job
smile.
consisted of saying, take a look at this, which is what he used to say to Mary Kate Olsen in her dressing room. Al should have been called Blackjack because you hit on the Olsens when he didn't stop till they were 21. Is it true that he used to give Mary Kate acting lessons? He'd tell her, act like this never happened. Bob Saget is a sick bastard. He has 2 daughters in college and 3 girlfriends in high school. Most comics dream of performing in Las Vegas, Nevada. Bob Saget dreams of performing in Hannah, Montana. Bob has done a lot for this country. For 8 seasons, half an hour a week, Full House, kept up the street. For all these years, I've never met the Olsen twins. He introduced me to them. I said to him, how do I tell them apart? He says, Ashley.
Like, I love dark humor, but I feel like sometimes it's not funny, and Pete is one of those things. So no, I'm not surprised that Shane Gillis was talking about Chelsea Handler having lunch with Jeffrey Epstein. Like, I think this is what they do. I think they put it right in our faces, and people still support them.
Yo, the fact that everybody there is just laughing is the most insane thing to me. Like, these aren't even like subtle jokes like they usually make. Like, they're just straight up, bro, they're just straight up saying it right in our face, and they're laughing.
An eighth ocean, you're saying they're keeping this closed off from the public for what reason?
Listen, there were things down there we just weren't prepared to encounter. Look, we were sent down into a canal, which sonars couldn't detect a bottom on, right? Takes us hours to get through it. And when we finally did, we emerged into what felt like a pocket ocean. Words couldn't explain the anatomy of the creatures we were seeing outside the window, right? But we truly realized the alien nature of this place when this elongated, almost translucent like figure, right, no joke, literally swims through the wall of the submarine. Don't ask me how, but we're just staring at it, right? As it completely passes through and just goes out the other side, right? I mean, these things weren't even abiding by our known laws of physics.
I mean, I remember saying with the crew, like, if outer space was a place on Earth, this was it, you know?
Here are some of the creepiest conspiracy theories. Only 2 months before 9/11, the World Trade Center was privatized and sold to Larry Silverstein. Every single morning, he ate breakfast in the North Tower on the 91st floor, but not on 9/11. His wife made him an emergency doctor's appointment that day. He also had bought an insurance plan that fortunately covered terrorism, and after the attack, he took the insurance company to court. Silverstein won and was paid double, being awarded a total of $4.55 billion. This might be the largest insurance fraud in history, and he's still a free man. So was it just a coincidence that he wasn't there the day of the attacks? Next up, there's a famous story where a mom in Thailand wanted to be reincarnated as a boy, so she had her only daughter mark a line on her neck. After she passed away, her daughter gave birth to a boy with a similar birthmark on the back of his neck. Do we think the mom was reincarnated as the sun? And lastly, according to the Flat Earth Society, a bunch of idiots, the most obvious proof of our planet's flatness can be found by looking at the horizon. People who believe the Earth is flat are just dumb. Point blank, end the period.
Nope, that is not a mannequin, as many are seeing this and warning that they are feeling something very wrong is happening, and whatever has been underneath the paint might be waking up. People were terrified after shoppers in Paris noticed the paint on a Balenciaga display was peeling off, and underneath was not plastic, not fiberglass, but what appeared to be real human with visible pores, veins, and texture that manufacturers are saying would be very difficult to replicate, with one woman being escorted out by the police just for trying to take photos of it. Haunting reports from a fashion designer who accused Balenciaga of stealing his work and flew to Paris to confront them just randomly disappeared, and then a mannequin appeared wearing his exact jacket just shortly after, with it also peeling and showing something skin-like underneath. But it gets much worse, as a new mannequin was just unveiled showing an eerily realistic woman with a chain that pierced right through her, leaving people warning that this one is even more detailed than the others, with skin that moves slightly when touched, weight that feels human, and eyes that follow you across the room. While many believe these are preserved remains, they were actually built by a UK special effects studio using 3D body scans, but nobody has explained why security removed a woman from photographing.
David, if you're listening, I'll take your case for free. If you reach out to my office, JM Law Firm, I will take your case for free. Don't forget that, and it's recorded.
Okay, what is the disadvantage besides you? What is the disadvantage besides you?
The disadvantage? That's it. Because anytime any charges come, there's no factual disadvantage. Dude, look at me. My client looked at the camera in my last trial, okay? He looked at the camera and 3 times. 3 times, all right? And I was able to get his application. He'll be done in 5 years. It's the most unbeatable cases that I look at.
All right, this dude is like a generational lawyer. Like he saves the unsavable. But I think David is beyond cooked, and rightfully so. Nobody's trying to free David. So
the JP Morgan scandal was revealed to all have been an elaborate lie done for this insane reason, and it has now forever ruined an innocent person's life. For context, this scandal started when the Daily Mail published a ridiculous story based on withdrawn court documents alleging that an unnamed Indian man who worked at JP Morgan was subjected to severe race-based intimacy coercion by his white female boss, whom the tabloid proudly named and shared a photo of. This story immediately went viral, with memes spreading this woman's face all over social media, permanently ruining her reputation, as many of the posts drew millions of views after gossip influencers amplified the claim without verifying the source. However, the actual story is very different. As it turns out, the JP Morgan employee, identified as Chirayu Rana, was looking for an easy payout and decided to sue the bank for millions. He invented this elaborate tale involving his female colleague, who was not even his boss, thinking that the bank would choose to settle out of court rather than risk reputational damage. But JP Morgan refused and instead allowed for a full investigation of emails, texts, and security footage that found zero evidence.
The last rapper in this world you would ever want to beef with had to have been King Von. Apparently a fan used to beef with King Von. I guess he trolled him too much on Instagram. He pissed him off a lot. They went into the DM, and King Von proceeds to send a photo of where the fan lived. And it seems like it was in response to what the fan said, but we don't have the DMs above this. King Von says, this where you live? And the fan says, bro, chill, it's just a joke. I was gonna unsend, bro, chill. I believe he sent some sort of meme or something disrespectful to King Von. I'm not gonna lie, you guys know the memes about King Von. Bro had like, what, 10, 11 bodies? 11 bodies and was still roaming free? How do you beat or not get caught after doing all of that? A lot of people say a lot of things about King Von, but the one thing that, you know, I agree with is that King Von was one scary person. He is dead last person in this entire world you would ever want to have any beef with. How did he get this kid's address? If I were this guy, I'm not gonna lie, I'd end up moving countries, bro, moving continents, deadass. I'd be gone instantaneously. Follow me, follow me, follow me, follow me, follow me.
I mean, King Von was literally a serial killer on the loose, so I'm not really too surprised that people were scared of him.
The Kardashian family is said to have destroyed the careers of every man who got close to them, and the list of these men reveals something disturbing. We've always known the Kardashian family as they are today, without ever really talking about the father, and yet he's the reason we even know this family at all. You should know that the father, Robert Kardashian, was Armenian. He came from a very old lineage tied to ancient knowledge. I'm not talking about black magic or anything like that, but influence, image, and energy. He was managing many things behind the scenes. The first man to fall was Scott Disick. After being with a Kardashian for 9 years, he fell into depression that still affects him today. He struggled with addictions that took everything from him, but the strangest part is that he says he feels like something inside him is missing. For Travis Scott, it's completely different. Look at his eyes here. You can see there's life and awareness. Now look at him after being with Kylie Jenner. That kind of change doesn't feel normal. Timothy's case is much more subtle. I don't understand how people still haven't noticed. If you pay attention, he's always making those same gestures, always with that empty, glassy look. And when you know Kylie went from Travis to Timothy, their relationship doesn't feel natural. It looks like something staged. And the most well-known case of all, Kanye West, is the most extreme. He was seen as an untouchable visionary genius, but after Kim Kardashian, everything collapsed publicly for him. He's been in constant mental chaos, and his career is permanently fractured, as if that relationship burned everything out of him. Then there's Rob Kardashian, the only male in the family. He's almost non-existent. You barely ever see him. He appears, disappears, extremely discreet, like he's hiding something big. And finally, there's Bruce Jenner, seen here with Kris. That person later transitioned into a woman after certain events. She is now known as Caitlyn Jenner. Do I really need to say more?
Update on the woman that tried to take the life of Rihanna by her crib with a. Yeah, Shawty thinks that Rihanna is after her and the devil has sent her.
Seen it. You saw Rihanna? I keep telling her to stop harassing me. Just stop harassing me. And she keeps doing it. She keeps harassing me.
She then says this when she sees photos of Rihanna in Ulta.
And I already bought stock in Ulta, and I have staked in Ulta. So now those energies can't harass me when I go into Ulta anymore. When I go into Ulta, the devil tries to antagonize me or instigate against me by the pictures that are there.
She also had videos talking like this about Cardi B. Seems like she's a serial stalker that believes that these industry women want to be her. Her bail is $10 million. Granted, I don't think she got that, but that's besides the fact. Shawty should not be allowed back outside in general. She has a long rap sheet in Florida too, which of course is us. But still, hell no. Do not let this Shawty back on the streets. Parasocialism getting out of control. You blazed at a celebrity's house because you feel like the celebrity wants your life? That she's the devil?
What sort of timing is Nine Vicious on? Because this guy just joined the Illuminati. First, it was that tattoo on your chest that is literally insanely large, displaying the Freemasonry sign or whatever. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but like those people, like the Freemasons and like Illuminati and stuff, dude, those people are like really weird in my opinion, or like, you know, demonic or whatever. So now, not only that, bro has literally tatted that on his chest and made his profile picture on Instagram the Freemasonry sign. Did you just like sell your soul? Like, why did you do this? Why is it? And this is like a very genuine and like I'm speechless right now. I'm asking this question from a standpoint of being very clueless. Why do rappers all of a sudden become very, how can I say this, very demonic, very weird after they become famous? Like in the beginning they're very normal, and then something happens where it's like a whole 180. They become very demonic, very dark, they get tattoos of weird things. what be going on behind closed doors. Follow me, follow me, follow me, follow me, follow.
Every single building block of human DNA was just found on an asteroid, and this now makes it officially the second one. So these scientists in Japan just analyzed tiny rock samples from an asteroid called Ryugu, and they found all 5 building blocks of DNA and RNA sitting inside of it. These are actually the same exact molecules that make up the genetic code of every single living thing on Earth, and it was found on a rock that's been floating in space. A Japanese spacecraft traveled 185 million miles to land on the asteroid. It fired a projectile into the surface, it caught the debris, and then it flew back to Earth. Dude, they're saying that the entire sample weighs less than 1/5 of an ounce, and inside of that tiny amount of dust, they found the recipe for life. This is now officially the second asteroid that they've ever been able to find all 5 of them on, which means that the ingredients for life aren't rare. They might have been everywhere in the early solar system, just raining down on random planets. They're saying that the ratios of these molecules don't match any known chemistry, so scientists are saying that there might be an entirely unknown process for how life's ingredients form in space, and we've obviously never seen it before. Life on Earth might not have started on Earth.
Everyone is starting to be less speechless after seeing just how close we were to losing IShowSpeed while he was live on stream the other day. Yeah, I am not kidding. So for those of you that did not see the other day, IShowSpeed was live on stream for his Caribbean tour, and he was riding in a bus, and for some reason he decided to stick his head out of the window of the bus. Now I can't really show what happens next or else my video will likely be taken down immediately, but let's just say IShowSpeed was inches away from no longer being on this earth anymore because his head almost hit something that would have caused that to happen. Now, thankfully, that did not happen. Once again, I can't really show what happened. You're going to have to do your own research to find the clip, and you will see if you find that clip just how close it was to actually happening. I'm not too sure what IShowSpeed was thinking, but he should never do something like that ever again. I really don't even think that IShowSpeed realized just how close something bad was to happening to him while he was doing that, but once again, thankfully, he is okay. Hopefully, he saw that clip and realized like how close he was to no longer being with us and starts to, act a bit smarter when doing his live streams, but I'm curious to know your thoughts about all of this.
Once again, some people unalived on Benadryl and is sending people to the hospital. And y'all won't believe the reason why it's happening again. Y'all remember a few years back when people was doing a Benadryl challenge? Well, they're bringing it back again. It is now gone viral. And the same thing that happened then is happening now. People are taking way more than what they're supposed to, and they start hallucinating. And they're doing all of this for views, for clicks and views. I don't understand why they come up with trends like this. This is not a joke. This is serious. Taking this too much is gonna mess with your heart, your brain, and your whole body. But once again, they're doing it for the clicks and views. Doctors have been saying since this trend started going viral again, they done seen people coming in that's having seizures, that's having heart problems, and that's not even making it. Gone, unalived. So they're doing all this to get a video that might do some numbers for a couple of days, but then mess up their life forever. You gotta stop this, because we all seen back in the day, once they started doing like this, it was other trends that was jeopardizing people's life too. And we don't need to go down that path again. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this down below in the comments.
Okay, if you see people taking a bunch of medicine on TikTok, what in your brain goes, I need to do that same thing too? Like, bro, there's nothing cool about doing that. You know, you get what you get, bro.
Hungrier. No, not like I want food hungry, or like an erotic hunger. Like I'm ridden with sexual energy and I can control you with one lustful look. Better.
When old clips like this resurface and you watch them back, there is no wonder why this woman has gone on the missing list and has been fleeing and running away from all the heat that is on her and her fellow colleagues and peers. So the question is, when things like this were getting said, where were the people that should have been expressing outrage and calling this out for what it is, which is completely and utterly wrong? There is no context or any way where it's okay to say something like that to a little one. These people are truly warped, and the sooner we start boycotting them, like everyone has to this one, the better.
Okay, someone figured out if you're watching Fox News and you look at the little bottom corner of the screen and you reverse the image, then about every 30 seconds, you're going to see the words. And you know they love inverting, reversing things, right? You got to look at things. Sometimes if you play music backwards, you'll hear different audio, right? It's all about the conditioning and the programming. Well, if you look, it says every 30 seconds, war and evil won. Which, of course, it's live and raw now. But it's very interesting that if you just reverse it, they're telling you another side of the story. Some people, though, this will not compute. It doesn't make sense. They wouldn't do such a thing when they don't know maybe how much is hidden in plain sight. And the way the human mind works with repetition and subliminal programming. We all know that there used to be propaganda. That's not a consideration. Everyone knows, yes, of course, propaganda was a thing. But to think that it's happening now on our television networks and whatnot is like far out of a thought. And that is based on zero evidence.
What do you think elites believe is the secret to living forever?
The elites are actually obsessed with living forever. And there are different reasons why this is the case. Some have speculated that it's because they in their hearts know all the evil they've done, so they're afraid of like the reckoning when they face God. They're afraid of like being held accountable for their actions. So that's one possibility. Another possibility is they're just really happy with the life they have here. So they want to maintain that. They're afraid of like when they die, they lose everything. So I think both are possibilities.
This monkey wasn't like the others. When people first saw Oliver in the 1970s, something immediately felt wrong. He didn't move like a normal chimpanzee. He stood upright, walked on two legs, and looked directly at people in a way that felt almost human. At first, it was just strange, but the more time people spent around him, the more unsettling it became. Oliver avoided other apes completely and preferred staying close to humans, watching them for long periods of time and copying small movements as if he was trying to understand how they behaved. That's when the rumors started to spread. Some people claimed he could open doors. Others said he tried to imitate human speech, and a few even believed he wasn't just an animal, but the result of something that should never have existed. The media gave him a name, Human Z, suggesting he might be part human and part chimpanzee. Scientists eventually stepped in to test that theory, and for a while even they weren't completely sure what they were dealing with, because Oliver didn't act like the species he came from. But years later, genetic testing revealed something that should have ended the mystery. Oliver had 48 chromosomes, exactly the same as a chimpanzee, which meant he wasn't human and never had been. And yet even after that, people who saw him still couldn't explain why he felt so different.
A psychic accused Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco in the case of David. Yes. This is like alleged, obviously. This is not my theory. Selena Gomez, she needed a new kidney, right? David is close with Benny Blanco. So Celeste was the kidney for Selena. No, it got so popular that in all of Selena Gomez's TikTok posts, it goes, R.I.P. Celeste, give her a kidney back or something like that. Yo, they're flooding her comments because of this psychic. Yes.
But didn't Gomez get her kidney from somebody else already?
Yes,
years ago?
yeah, I thought she got it from but it was 10 years ago. But you know, like, kidneys can fail. Kidneys can go bad.
Really?
So she needed another one. And the psychic in the interview was crazy. He's like, oh yeah, I see Selena.
Somehow, some way, this connects with Selena Gomez. Oh my god. I also have Selena Gomez's boyfriend. I don't know who Selena Gomez's boyfriend is, so he's connected, she's connected.
But what made it worse was Benny Blanco was on Kai Cenat's stream and he brought a bunch of Hello Kitty luggages. And David, in his last performance, he was wearing a Hello Kitty thing. And who loved Hello Kitty? Celeste.
I mean, with the world we're living in, bro, I wouldn't even be surprised. But why would Selena Gomez be like, yo, you know David, have him take out this girl and give me her kidney? I feel like there's many other ways they could have went about doing that, but
they want you to wait right now for retirement. As soon as you wait for retirement, it's time for you to. They don't want you to have. That's
why the 40 hours a week is designed to take your soul, right?
For sure.
I'll keep it real. Because you're going to spend most of your time working, and then the time you ain't working, you're going to spend sleeping, and the time you ain't sleeping, you're going to spend and all that, you ain't got no more time, right? And then the rest of your life, you're trying to get back because you were always from the back. Listen, life is... Yeah.
So how you saying everything is by the moment? So that means 607 don't like set no goals or none of that?
Well, listen, I'm saying this. I'm just gonna keep it real, right? I got an agenda.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I know where I'm going, but the road changes every decision. If we going somewhere, I want to have an open mind. So say we going somewhere, I'm not gonna say I'm going with y'all. No, if I get to the next destination and it's a faster destination, I'm gonna tell y'all, look, good, see y'all later, but I gotta go right here. So I'm not gonna lock in you nowhere. I'm free, right? People understand that I just live free. People like, you always late. I ain't never late. I'm on time, right? Because I'm gonna stay until I get it done. So I'm not putting people on my time. I just come on the time I get there. And then when I get there, you like, oh, we can't do it then. I'm gonna wait, right? That's just me. But I'm gonna always do things at my time, but work with other people's time. Because I understand that everybody run against time, but I use time for my advantage. Right, I use advantage against time. Like I told you, we just move kind of like slow.
What is she wearing today?
I have my skin shoes on today.
Oh yeah, you do.
People are saying those aren't even shoes. In the video, an interviewer approaches two people in strange outfits. At first, it looks like a fashion performance, but the closer he gets, the more everything feels wrong. One of them turns and shows exaggerated teeth and blue hair that doesn't look natural, like it isn't even growing from a scalp just attached to the head. And standing beside them is someone in high heels, but people online keep saying it doesn't.
What the hell is going on in Texas? A woman has just narrowly escaped with her. Someone decided to throw a literal spear at her car as she was driving along the highway. And as you can see, the only thing that seemed to save her life was that the blade was stopped by the steering wheel. And what's crazy is that her caption said that it was not anyone she knew, nor was it road rage. Someone who she didn't see launched it at her car from the side of the road and is still on the loose. People then started reposting this video, which appears to have come from Snapchat, showing someone holding a spear and saying that they're gonna throw it at a car that night. But somehow things only get more wild because just 2 days before this situation, a man driving his car in Wisconsin had a fence post impale his windscreen so close to his head that it went through the hoodie he was wearing. Luckily, it appears that this one was completely accidental and reportedly came from a trailer that he was passing. But I mean, either way, we are living out some Final Destination now. So the question is, if this happened to you, what would you do?
Something's going on at the Megala. Shh! Shut up! What is this about? People are saying that this scares them. And I don't know why, because this is just art. Who's designing these outfits? Yo, you know what this means? Shh! Shut up! It's not a game. Sam Smith is here. Shh! Shut up! It's not a game out here, guys. Something is going on at the Megala. Get ready. It's not a game. Who's that on top of Jordan Roth? Huh? What is that on top of Jordan Roth? Because people are scared. I mean, these outfits are fantastic. Shut up! But this one right here, whose hand is that? Huh? Whose hand is that right here? Because her hand is right there. Yo, I don't know what's going on over there, guys. But I think it's about to go down. Like, this is about to be the best Met Gala ever. This is what people are saying. I wouldn't know. And I don't believe it. Shh. Shut up. I'm just playing around, guys. Entertainment purposes only. Shout out to all these amazing people at the Met Gala. This outfit is official. I ain't never seen nothing like this before. I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think about this. Shh. I'm out.
You know, it is physically impossible for you to touch anything. I know what you're thinking, Matt, what the hell are you on about? I'm touching my phone right now watching this video. No, trust me, stick with me. So every single thing in our whole universe is made up of atoms, apart from energy. Atoms literally make up everything, things that you touch, things that you see, everything. And now you've probably played with magnets before. If you have them both on the same side facing each other, they repel each other, yeah? And it is impossible for their magnets to touch. Doesn't work. And it is actually exactly the same with atoms. They do not touch each other. And well, because of this, as I say, you can't actually touch touch anything. Because the atoms are repelling each other, they never actually touch. So think about this. When you are sitting in a chair, for example, watching TV, you are actually hovering above that chair by a tiny, tiny microscopic level. I know you're thinking this is absolute BS, there's no way this is true, but it is scientifically proven. This is factual. You would never notice it, but it is science. It is scientifically proven that atoms do not touch each other, the same as how magnets repel each other. And yet, it is physically impossible for you to physically touch anything, because even by a tiny, tiny, tiny amount you would never even notice, there is still a gap between.
Guys, another country has placed AI in their government. The UAE have just announced that over the next 2 years, they plan to convert 50% of their government services into what they called agentic AI. That basically means AI systems that don't just assist humans, but can actually make decisions and carry out tasks on their own. Habibi, you sure? In fact, according to the country's own prime minister, he said the goal is to introduce autonomous execution and decision-making with minimal human oversight, even describing it as sort of an executive partner to the government. But this doesn't mean that AI is going to start writing laws by itself. Humans still got to do that with prompts. But what do you guys think? Is this less scary than it sounds? And it's kind of like when the government started using computers. Or we cook.
I'm sorry, but NASA just found what? Okay, yeah, whoa, let's go. The James Webb Telescope is one of the craziest pieces of tech in the atmosphere, looking at all kinds of galaxies and potential life. Yes, the telescope they dropped. Now, for a while, they've been analyzing a planet called K2-18b, which is basically called the Super Earth. It's a Super Earth planet because it's pretty much Earth, and it's only 120 light years away, so it's a lot closer than a lot of others. Now, what they found here was something absolutely insane that a lot of people still don't know about. They found a number of gases and chemicals in the atmosphere on this planet, potentially methane, carbon dioxide, and, well, DMS, which is dimethyl sulfoxide. Now here's where it gets very interesting, and yeah, maybe we could get confirmation that there is life out there soon. So dimethyl sulfoxide in particular is produced by living organisms, marine life, and bacteria in the sea. So if this signal is real and actually eventually confirmed, this could mean there is something alive in the oceans of this actual planet. And yes, scientists do believe that this is a water world, almost like Miller's planet, but does have land as well. Now a lot of other researchers were coming out as well, talking about other things in the atmosphere that could potentially be here. One was another chemical which is produced by wood and trees. And well, what does trees produce? Oxygen, which means we can live there. But about the catch of all of this is the detection wasn't exactly very, very strong. It is still unconfirmed. It's going to take a lot of looking into to actually prove, because, you know, we can't just go 120 light years. It needs a lot more data for them to actually confirm whether this is real or not, or it's just some other random molecules in the atmosphere. So no aliens yet, but we may be closer than ever to actually finding out for sure if there is life on another planet.
There's a real case where a man vanished while talking to his parents on the phone, and no one ever found him. Like, he had literally just vanished off of Earth. In 2008, 19-year-old Brandon Swanson drove off a back road in Minnesota late at night, but his car got stuck, but he wasn't hurt. That's when he decided to call his parent. They stayed on the phone with him for 47 minutes as he walked toward what he thought were town lights. They could hear him talking, joking, and walking. And during his walk, at one point, he said he was crossing a fence because he heard water nearby. Then, just out of nowhere, without warning, Brandon said 2 words: "Oh shit." And that's when the call went silent. Search teams traced the exact area he should have been in. They found his car, they followed his path, they searched rivers, fields, and ditches for years. Nothing. No phone, no body, no trace of Brandon, ever. Even the investigators admitted they didn't know what happened in those final seconds. Somehow a person can be alive, speaking and moving, and then disappear mid-sentence, never to be seen again. What do you think, though? Was it aliens? Was it a glitch in the Matrix? Was he kidnapped? What do you think happened? Stay weird.
He was found scattered in after going on vacation with his girlfriend in Bali. If you didn't hear about this, on February 15th, a 28-year-old Ukrainian tourist named Igor Komarov was riding a scooter with his girlfriend in Bali when a group of men surrounded him and him. 4 days later, his captors release a horrifying video of him where Igor is severely. He has 2 blisters. He says his legs are, his ribs are. They're forcing him to take, and he raises his arm and shows that his hand is. And in the video, he is begging his mom and dad to return $10 million that the kids say his father stole from them before he has no limbs left. So police are investigating, and they realize that Igor's girlfriend, an Instagram model with 200,000 followers, posted their location just minutes before he was kidnapped. A few days passed with no ransom paid out, and a local man who was jogging reported seeing a human in the water. And based on the tattoos and other features, police believe it to be Igor. Rest in peace to Igor. Let me know what you guys think about this, and as always, I'll keep you guys updated.
Well, this is tragic because I'm about to be on a trip soon too, and hopefully I come back in one piece. But if y'all see me on the news, just know we had a good run.
Someone just absolutely smashed Mr. Beast's YouTube world record, and Jimmy has already responded. For 9 days straight, this 23-year-old YouTuber from Poland streamed from his apartment, setting a staggering new world record for the most money ever raised for charity by a creator. $70 million. But the craziest part is how he did it, because for comparison, when Mr. Beast broke the record, raising $40 million for Team Water, he essentially got every massive creator in the world to not only donate, but also spread awareness. Whereas Ladvogang didn't. Bro simply decided to start this fundraiser after hearing a cancer diss track recorded by a Polish rapper with an 11-year-old leukemia patient. And it was her story who inspired this campaign. And so he decided to set out with a small goal of raising $140,000, which he ended up shattering in a matter of hours. And over the next few days, things got so insane that at one point at its peak, it was viewed by 1.4 million people simultaneously, which reportedly became the most watched live broadcast globally at that point. And by day 9, they had raised over $70 million for the Cancer Fighters Foundation. And the former record holder himself responded on X by saying, "Love it when people use their platform for good."
I didn't want to be this way. I know what I'm doing. I know how horrific it is. Do I wish I never had a bite of crunchy, swirly cinnamon toast crunch?
Wow.
No. Because even though it's alienated me from everything and everyone I've ever loved, whenever I taste Cinnadust, I know I'd do it all again.
What is this commercial talking about, bro?
I know it's wrong for me to want to eat Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
No way.
Considering I'm also Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
What?
But ever since my first crunchy, swirly, Cinnadust covered bite, I can't hide who I am.
No! No!
And the truth is, I don't want to.
What are they trying to tell us in that commercial, guys? Because these commercials been getting stranger and stranger by the day. If he's Cinnamon Toast Crunch, why is he eating himself? Sounds familiar? Shut up! Something's going on with these commercial guys. And they've been trying to tell us something with a lot of these food commercials. Because we all know that there's something wrong with the... Stop playing with me, son. This video is for entertainment purposes only. I don't know what the hell they talking about, but I love Cinnamon Toast Crunch, bro. Shut up! Matter of fact, I'm about to have a bowl right now. Hopefully I don't see the cereal eating each other. Stop playing with me, son. It's not a game, alright, guys. You know what time is it. Shut up! But I'll tell you one thing. If I ever go to my kitchen at night and there's Cinnamon Toast Crunches walking around the counter talking and eating each other, not today, buddy.
Flight prices are surging after these other airlines warned that they may also go bankrupt alongside Spirit in what could become the largest airline failures in history. Hundreds of thousands of travelers had their flights canceled with no prior warning when budget airline Spirit failed to reach a deal with the Trump administration. Spirit reportedly rejected a proposal to give the White House the right to buy 90% of the airline in exchange for $500 million in federal aid. As a result, flight prices across the country are rapidly rising, causing the U.S. Transportation Secretary to force domestic airlines to cap their prices and give priority booking to affected Spirit travelers. But now, multiple other airlines are reportedly also facing the same problem the Spirit was. They informed the White House that the recent spike in fuel prices is rapidly eating through their cash reserves, warning that they won't be able to last much longer, with a group made up of Frontier, Allegiant, and Avilo now asking the government for a combined $2.5 billion in aid.
Yo, I don't know how an airline can go bankrupt because, bro, like, they have to bring in a decent profit. There's no way that everything they... Bro, have y'all seen the airport prices? There's no way on earth that they go bankrupt. Like, yeah, I get they have a lot to maintain, a lot of money to spend to put into it, but bro, the money that they get back is definitely way more.
This popular MAGA influencer named Emily Hart, she's been going pretty viral recently, posting about guns, Christianity, and Trump. She wrote captions like, "If you want a reason to unfollow, Jesus is king, and all illegals must be deported. And she was even making thousands of dollars by selling her pictures online. Problem is, turns out she is a he. Yeah, Emily Hart, entirely AI generated by a man that is living in India trying to make enough money so that he can pay for his own medical school fees. There is so much in that. But firstly, it just shows that the current political situation in the US is so sensitive that Emily's own creator said in an interview with Wired that Gemini actually recommended him to target conservative audiences, particularly older men in the US, because they have a higher disposable income and they are more loyal. And secondly, it shows just how AI has become a plague for some and a lifesaver for others. Because, you know, on the one hand, you're someone that's just got scammed by someone targeting your political beliefs. But on the other, you're someone that's just made enough money to put yourself through medical school. The 22-year-old said in India, even in professional jobs like, I'm assuming, doctors and lawyers, you can't make this amount of money. I haven't seen any easier way to make money online.
The results of Michael Jackson's autopsy report were nothing short of disturbing. He was largely bald with only sparse hair remaining, the result of burns and repeated cosmetic procedures as he'd been wearing a wig in public for years. His scalp also showed scarring consistent with past injuries. He had multiple cosmetic tattoos, including permanent eyeliner and lip liner, likely done to maintain his appearance without daily makeup. His skin also showed signs of vitiligo alongside extensive cosmetic alteration. His arms were marked with numerous puncture wounds, consistent with frequent over time. Toxicology findings showed multiple in his system and partially dissolved in his stomach, indicating recent ingestion. The cause of death was ruled acute intoxication, a powerful surgical anesthetic. In the final months of his life, Michael was given regularly inside his home to induce sleep, essentially relying on anesthesia instead of natural slumber. His personal physician, Conrad Murray, was later convicted of involuntary manslaughter for administering outside of proper medical care.
Thank you guys for watching the video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your favorite part of the video made you tremble in your boots, and we're going to be on to the next one. Thank you.